Hi everybody, this is Rhys Barber from Audiology Associates. Thanks very much for watching that earwax removal video today. This is a very full ear canal. You can see as soon as you look in from the outside edge, this canal is pretty full. We've got this big chunky old piece of wax in here. Difficult to see at this point how far back that wax goes. So we're just working on the front end here. We've got the standard size Zollner tube in here. If this is the first time you've watched one of our videos or any earwax removal videos, when using suction, which is the method we use here, we tend to use two different size tubes. A standard size Zollner tube is a wider tube, better suction, bigger bits coming out, and we use a fine end, which is a much thinner tube. This is also another tool we use. This is the crocodile forceps, very narrow jaws on this one, so it's a very fine end pair of crocodile forceps. The reason I'm using this is there was a little bit of skin that was embedded into the front end of this wax, so I've just removed that using the forceps. I've added a little bit of olive, we're throwing everything in this in the first 30 seconds, a little bit of olive oil in there as well, and that's just going to help to loosen everything up in there a little bit. So it just sits on the surface of the canal wall and the wax, and it just helps to loosen everything out. My goodness me, this is the Jobson horn as well, so that's going in here. This is a little spoon-shaped object, and this is just helpful to scoop if you get these harder pieces of wax. You can see me working just beyond the wax. The idea for this is to get behind the wax and pull it forwards. So it's a little spoon-shaped device, really, really good for tougher blocks of wax. Look at this coming away here, guys, just unfolding in the ear canal there, really pulling forwards. Looks like there's a little bit of skin embedded in this as well. Look at that chunk coming out. There we go. That olive oil makes such a difference when you've got these harder plugs in there. Let's lift this up so you can get a good look at it. So you can see there's some skin and some wax, all this big old plug in there. That's a nice size piece. Let's take a look behind. There we go. We can see the eardrum beyond now. So we've got this patient hearing a lot better, but let's clear away some of this dry skin material here just to the right hand side. Now guys, obviously if you're very used to this channel, what I've decided to do for the beginning part of this year, there are some people who haven't seen these videos before, so I'm just gonna, for the first couple of videos of the year, I'm just gonna explain some of the tools as we're going along. I know you guys know it, you could probably recite it back to me verbatim, but when you're new to the channel, you've never seen these videos, you remember you guys were like that at one time, it's always handy to know what tools we're using inside here as well. So just taking away this dry skin, opting to use the technique rather than lift off the side there and sort of run it all the way down the canal. That's all I've done here is just gone over the top and scooped the suction tube back, and that's just going to help to break this skin away a lot more effectively. We talked earlier about the two different size tools. This is the fine end. The reason I'm using the fine end, when you're suctioning skin, it has a tendency to vibrate in the end of the suction tube, which causes a high-pitched shrill whistle. That's known as clarinetting. So if you use the fine end, it's much less likely for that to happen. So let's take a look. There we go. There's the eardrum looking lovely and healthy. So this is what it looked like before, this sort of dark monster piece of wax at the entrance to the canal, but eardrum beyond it looking lovely and healthy. Now, the other ear canal, now you can see the eardrum straight away. So, excuse me, if I ever get a patient that comes through to clinic with this particular problem, what I will normally say to them is, look, you can, at the moment, you can hear well. The eardrum is visible. So you don't necessarily need to remove the wax at this point. You can still hear. It's more of an optional thing. Most people will opt to get it out just because they're there anyway, so they might as well get them both done at the same time. But you can really see that same sort of plug forming as on the other side. Now we've gone in straight with a Jobson horn here. We tend to do that, use that a lot. If you've used a specific tool on the first ear canal, chances are you're going to need to use it on the second one. So I will tend to go in a little bit earlier with a manual tool. All the manual tools, just for you to know, if you're using those, it's called curettage. So there's a few out there. You'll probably see a few coming up in the video soon. So we've got a grip on this piece of wax here. This is a little bit of skin that's embedded in the middle of the wax there. Let's give this a little bit of a wiggle back and forth. Just wiggling it to detach it from the canal walls, walk it out to the entrance, quite a narrow entrance to the canal here. I don't think this is going to walk out. I think it is happy in there. I don't think you're going to pull this through the gap. It's just too narrow a gap. So let's go back in with the Jobson horn. Whoops, fold that little bit of dry skin down so we can get behind it. There we go, just edge the Jobson horn down. There we are. Now you can start to see the back end. If we can just scoop beyond it, there's a little bit of skin. Look how all that is crumbling, all unfolding out of the canal. It's been held in a tight space. As it comes out, it's sort of all breaking away for freedom there as it's all coming out of the ear canal. Let's lift this little section up here. That's still not budging. You can see it. Basically what we've got is a thread of skin, dry skin, that's detached from the canal wall, and it's threaded all the way through the wax. The skin in your ear canal grows like a conveyor belt. So if you do get a large section coming away, what can happen is it will come away as a long strip, almost like a snake skin. And that's going to embed into the wax, because the wax's job is to pick up dirt, debris, dead skin and migrate that out. So the wax is doing its job, but the skin's worked against it. You can see beyond where that skin layer goes into the ear canal there. So it was almost the outer third of the ear canal wall, or surface layer of the ear canal wall skin is peeled away. We've got that out. It's a lovely shot of the ear. Let's pick that wax up. Oh, we are going to do that. Sorry, guys. There you go. Up comes the wax. Let's take a look beyond that. There we go. There's the eardrum now looking nice and healthy. So this is what it looked like beforehand. This is what it looks like afterwards. And there's those plugs. So you can see the crumbly pieces all over the paper there as well. So we've got 4 centimeters, 1.5 inches, a lot of skin, wax debris in there, really tightly coiled bundle of skin and wax, which is more common than people realize in their ear canals. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video as much as I did voicing it over. If you do enjoy the videos, guys, I always forget this, please subscribe. We'd love to have you subscribe. If you did find any value in this video, if you got some information you didn't know before, consider subscribing. You'll see a lot more of our videos. As always, guys, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and take care of your ears. And I shall see you probably with Taylor on Monday. Take care, everyone. Bye.